I have to say, I was super excited to see you at ADCC 2022. We were out in the audience watching you. And what's really interesting about watching you perform and watching you compete is you always bring like a very, I don't know, how would you say, like a unique and innovative like approach. You always seem to be going after a strategy that no one else is doing in the tournament. And I was wondering if you can maybe just like walk us through like how did you come up with your plan against like say Kade and maybe like your plan against Yuri?
Sure, yeah. Well, it's kind of a similar plan. Actually, I mean, to be honest, I kind of tried to have one plan that could kind of. I think if you're competing, it's good instead of like in a 16-person event, instead of trying to look at everyone individually and have like a totally different game plan for everyone. Just like have your game that you want to play, and then I studied my opponents, but just to make some little adjustments or be aware of things they might do to try to deal with like particular scenarios, and just being aware of that. Sorry, Walt's making some noise in the background, but yeah. So for Kade, like I watched. It was, for some reason, he was one I thought I might get. I don't know why. I just like I kind of looked at it. I was like, okay, well, I'm an invite, but it's been a while since I competed, so I thought they might put me reasonably low down on the invite kind of hierarchy, and they usually put invites against trial winners. And I thought, the North American trials were probably the hardest, so Kade and Will Tackett, I thought might be quite highly likely to meet. So I did some study on, just like brief study on all of my opponents, and I picked up some things that with Kade's passing, for example, the way he approaches the north-south position, he kind of it doesn't like just burrow in. He kind of waits for his opponents to recover guard, and as they start to retain, he often, at least this is what I saw in a few of his matches, like as they go to retain guard, he would like tilt them, and that would like force them into a really bad stacking position. So I kind of started playing around in training, going, well, what if I don't try to recover immediately? What if I like look for some grips from there first before I recover? So that's why you saw me hanging out a bit more in north-south, and then I actually had some like interesting attacks that I kind of developed in that position too.
I thought that was pretty cool. You played kind of this like, I want to say this dilemma between like you were going for like a false reap entry and then also the Choi bar, right?
Yeah, so there's actually quite a few. Yeah, there's a few leg entries of depending like which leg steps forward, I can go for the leg 50-50 entries, K-guard entries. And then if they lead with their arms, I've got the Choi bar on one side, and then something I call the reverse Choi bar on the other side. So kind of the way I kind of envisage it is, no matter what they lead with, I can attack that limb. Which, yeah, I don't know. It was I quite enjoy, like in the lead up to it. It made me feel pretty confident, not just to use. I think it's just like actually an advancement on guard retention, and like using guard retention not just to recover guard, but to actually try to, like, anytime they step in, or anytime you are recovering, not just get back to a neutral position, but try to actually turn that into an attack.